Hi friends, welcome to QApedia, and this is our blog qapedia.com. So today the topic that we are going to discuss in this session is Selenium with JavaScript locators. So the topics that will be discussing today will be what is locators, type of locators, how to find locators, by library, and then summary of the session. So what is locators? Now, we have seen in our previous sessions that how can we launch a web browser, how can we navigate to a web application in a web browser. But now, if we want to know that how can we access a particular element like a button, a field, a text area, a checkbox, then we need to use locators for that. So, locators are used for locating an element in a web application. So, locators are an integral part of web automation. So, if you want to find an element and take action on that, then we need to use locators for that. Like if you want to click on a button, we need to use locators for that. If you want to enter any value in the field or in the text area, then we need to use locators for that. So locators are very important. Now, types of locators. So there are different types of locators which we can use to find elements in web application in a web browser in Selenium WebDriver. So those are what are those different type of locators? ID, name, class name, tag name, link text, partial link text, CSS selector, and XPath. So all these locators are nothing but the attributes of a particular element on the web application. Now, how to find locator for a particular element? So there are some steps to find locators. First, we need to navigate to the application in the browser. Then we need to navigate to a specific page, and then we need to right click on the element and click on inspect button. So let's do one thing. Let's do a practical for that. So let's go to google.com. So if we go to google.com, then we can see that this is a search box, and this search box is nothing but what to say, a field. So if we want to access this field, then we need to inspect. We need to click on inspect button. So if suppose we click on inspect, then we can see that this is the attribute of the search field, name, and we have seen that name is a type of locator. Okay, so for this particular search field we can use name locator, and what is the value of that locator? That is q. Okay, so for search field the locator name can be used, and that name's value is, and the locator's value is q. So this is how we can find locator. That's what we have to do. We need to navigate to some application in the browser. We have to navigate to a specific page and then right click on the element and then click on inspect. So if we click on inspect, we'll find out the locator value of any element. Now, how to use locators? How can we use locators? So if you want to use locators, then first thing that we need to do, we need to import by library. Okay, if we don't import by library, then we can see what happens. So for that, what we will do, we had written our script in our last session until here, and we had written a script for closing the browser. We did not write this. So we will write this particular statement by which we can find the search field, and we have used the we have seen the locator name as locator name, and the value for that was q, and this way we can find out search field, and in that search field we want to enter some value. Suppose we want to enter a value like WebDriver. So for entering a value, we have to use a key. We have to use a function called send keys. If we use this particular function, then this function will enter a value there, WebDriver, and after that we need to click on enter or return button. So for that we need to use this particular action, key dot return, and this way what will happen, we will be able to navigate to we will be able to search WebDriver search results. We will be able to do WebDriver search results. So let's do one thing. Let's write the statement and then run our script. So let's do it now. Yeah, let's go here, and this is no, we will change it. We will change it. We'll change our URL. We will change our URL here, and then type WebDriver in search field and press enter. So type WebDriver search field and press enter. So let's write the statement here. Await driver dot find element, then we'll write here by dot name. We are going to use name here, and what is the value of name? It is q, and if we have found it, then what we need to do, we need to use our function called send keys. So we will use this particular function send keys. So let's do that, and we are almost done here. So we will do dot send keys, and here we will write web driver, and then we'll write here key dot return. Okay, and let's write semicolon here, and now let's save it, and after that we will run this script. So we have to use this. It's not working. So we had used this command to run our script, and then we are getting an error, by is not defined. We are using this particular function by dot name because we have to use this particular function library to find out locator, but we did not import it here, so we have to import it. So we'll write here by, and then we will save it, and now again we are going to run it, and we will let's do one thing, cls, yeah, now node tests slash first test dot js. So we can run it here again. Browser is not getting closed, so it is failing, and this time key is not defined. So we are using this particular function key, but it is not defined, so we have to import this as well. So we have imported this as well, and now let's see, we have to save it as well. We have to save, yeah, we have saved it. Now let's run it. Yeah, WebDriver, yeah, now it is working fine. So now our script is working perfectly fine. So this is how we use locators. So like this, locators are used to locate some element and then enter some value there or click on some button. Those things we do using locators. We can enter some value, we can click on a button. Those type of things we can do using locators. So yeah, that's it in this particular session. So If we want to know somewhat more, so yeah, the summary of this session is we have covered what is locators, what are different types of locators, how to find locators, then what is by library, and then how to use locators to access the element. So these things we have covered in our today's session. So that's it for the session. Thank you very much, guys.